Candace Owens had I think she was a porn star. I recognized the girl's face, but I don't know her name or her story, but like she was a quote sex worker, and they had to sit down, and this poor woman, like you could tell she was very nervous. I mean, you're going against a juggernaut. I have my disagreements with Candace Owens, but I mean, she is as sharp as they
Yeah,
come,
yeah,
and
agreed.
she knows her stuff, and she's a professional, right? And she didn't get to where she is because she's a dummy. So you were going against Goliath. So this girl was nervous, rightfully so, and was trying to prepare and had been studying the Bible, which I think is so respectful that she's trying to understand Candace's position and approach the conversation with both where she thought it was going to kind of go. And Candace is kind of sitting there smugly, and she's like, I wasn't going to even bring up the Bible because I would assume that you haven't studied it. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, what is the point of this? And this woman is trying to bring up Mary Magdalene, which is an interesting thing because it is pretty much perpetuated that she was a sex worker. So it's like, it's not to accept the quote sin or the act, but it's hate the sin, love the sinner, that kind of mentality. So yeah, you can hate what I do. You can call it sinful if that's your perspective, but the whole point is to love the sinner. And that's kind of what was supposed to be absorbed from Jesus's teaching, and that's a clear example of how it's not. And she was on the Whatever podcast, and she was talking to this young girl who's obviously young and dumb. We're all young and dumb. That you're supposed to make mistakes so that you can learn. You learn from your mistakes. You don't learn from your successes. You learn very little from success except for this is awesome and this feels good and I want more of it. You learn a lot from mistakes. So you're supposed to be young and dumb for a period of your life. And Candace is going, toe to toe with this girl who does not stand a chance, right? Like me, even now, I wouldn't stand a chance. She's brilliant. Me at 21, I'd be floundering. And she's like, I'm just so curious about whole life. And I'm like, what are you doing to this girl? Like, is this necessary? Is that absolutely necessary? You know who was curious about whole life was Jesus, right? And Jelly Roll has this great clip from a podcast he did. He's like, Jesus would have been coming in on a Harley. What are you talking about? He was the man of the people and a man of the misfits, and no one is below redemption. And I think that's what's getting lost.
Yeah, there's two quotes I really love. One is C.S. Lewis. He said, the church is a hospital for sinners, not a museum for saints. And then the other one is a R.C. Sproul quote where it's like Christians have no reason to be smug. And an evangelist is just one beggar telling another beggar where to find bread. I love that stuff. Like that's the, even like when I say I'm a Christian, it gives me like icky feelings about the thing that is the most important thing in my life, because it's so associated with that kind of judgmental elements of people. And I think they're missing the boat. And I'm new to this stuff. I haven't been like studying the Bible my whole life at all or anything like that. But I think I get the big picture. That's what I do with my history classes and stuff like that. My civics classes, I look at big picture. I look at big patterns. I don't know who the 22nd president was. Kids will ask me all these like detailed, what was the Wilmot Proviso in early America? I was like, I don't know, kid. Google it. I don't know. But I can tell you like big sociology, evolutionary biology, like patterns. And seems to be a big pattern of Christianity that the people who are experts are missing.